Like it.
All right. Hey, Andy Reetz here at Champions Run, and I've got some special guests here with me today. I've got Wagner and I've got David Wellnitz, two coworkers here at Champions Run who've got a very, very unique set of skills. And gentlemen, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So, kind of our employee, teammate, coworker spotlight. We've chosen both you guys. Most recently, the three of us, the two of you and me, we went up for a flight and on your airline on a Cessna 172. Is that correct?
Yep.
That's correct.
All right. So my first experience ever in a small engine plane like that, and I'm going to tell you, and I gave you guys a high five while we were up there. It was the most amazing experience. You took the lead of giving some instruction. You tell me, what do we do?
Well, we took off. David showed you how to pre-flight the plane, which not everybody gets to do. I feel like sometimes we kind of leave you guys inside and then we go do that part. So you got a nice little look at how the plane actually works. Then we did the takeoff. You did the takeoff all by yourself. You flew us
I'll take the credit for that, but I don't feel like I did.
I was just hovering controls. That was all you. And then we went out over like the highway. We went eastbound towards Council Bluffs, out that area, and turned back around and did a little flight out over the city. Zero-G pushover at one point, which I think was probably my favorite part.
What was that again? What do we do?
What is a zero-G pushover?
A zero-G pushover is basically where you go up and then you just shove the controls down. So basically the plane's descending faster than you are and you feel like zero gravity effects. So everything kind of floats up in the plane and things start flying around.
So for all of our listeners out there, this is the way it was presented to me. The question was, Andy, do you get queasy on roller coasters? And I said, no, I don't. And they said, hey, do you want to do a pushover? I thought it was a rollover. I wasn't clear what I was listening to. And the next thing I know, I felt like we were dropping from the sky. So yes, I get queasy on roller coasters.
Did he pee his pants at all? I was kind of concerned that he might do that.
Not that we could see anyway.
Yeah, he hit it well.
So once again, it was a Cessna 172, single engine plane. We took off from Council Bluffs at a place called the Rev, where both of you are flight instructors. Is that right, David?
Yes, sir.
So as flight instructors, you told me when we were up there that you've logged over 1,600 hours up in the air.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah. So tell me about that a little bit. How'd you get started becoming a pilot and being an instructor?
Yeah, so I've wanted to be a pilot ever since I can remember. I think a big part of that was living in Cheyenne, Wyoming. We were right along the final approach path for the airport there. And so I'd always watch the C-130s fly over our head every day. I thought it was the coolest thing. And then the 4th of July every year, they would have the Thunderbirds fly over the whole town. So I'd watch that, and I thought that was cool. So I did that, and then I joined Civil Air Patrol when I was 12, did that up through high school, got my private pilot license, the one that you start with, senior year of high school.
Wow.
And then I started UNO the next year and became an instructor in December of 22.
Amazing. So David, both you and Cy went to UNO, University of Nebraska, Omaha. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Yep. But you guys knew each other before you got here to Omaha?
Kind of.
Vaguely. We knew of each other.
Okay.
It wasn't until Cy moved here and he was moving into the dorms. I was an RA at the time. And I saw a sister who was in my grade, and so I went and said hi to Gabriella.
It always starts with a sister, doesn't it?
and then I found out he was doing aviation. I was like, that's crazy. Me too. So,
Well, that was great. So both of you have your undergrad at UNO. You're both instructors at Rev. How did you get connected at Rev? Am I saying that right?
What is
yeah.
Rev?
Yeah, what is Rev?
It's like a flight school. I got connected through Dave because he was working there when I got here, and Dave was my flight instructor. So we kind of met at school, and then I pretty much just followed him. I just texted him like, "Hey, what do I do next?" And
yeah, I worked the desk at Rev Aviation as a student there, and then that was kind of a stepping stone to become an instructor as well. That helped just get me through the door.
Okay. Well,
What's kind of the dream job for you guys?
I'd say airlines with maybe like a desk job, so I'm home a little bit more often than not.
commercial airlines?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Cy, what about you?
I'm corporate all the way. I don't want to be home at all. I just want to go cool places on cool planes and travel.
Yeah. Hey, I failed to mention, hey, Ben Lorenzen's here with me and Cy and David. And so that's who you hear kind of chiming in. So a quick question for you. When I guess When I got to the Rev, I got there about 30 minutes before both of you guys did, right? So I'm pretty nervous, right? And truth be told, I think I might have told you both this up in the plane. So I hadn't broke this news to my wife yet, Leslie, that I was going to go up in a single engine aircraft with two of our coworkers from Champions Run, right? I went home. I was at work. We had kind of a boo brunch, and I snuck home real quick and said, "Hey, Leslie," and she was taking a little nap because she was babysitting our grandson the night before, so she was pretty tired. And I whispered to her, I said, "Hey, I've got a chance to go up in a Cessna 172, fly an airplane. Are you okay with that?" She whispers, "Please don't." And I go, "Hey, I'm really going up. Is that going to be okay?" And she goes, "I prefer you didn't." I took it as a cue that it was going to be okay, so I left. And I think I told you guys that up in the air. I said, "Hey, whatever you do, get me back home safe." So you guys did a great job. All right, that's right. Nothing great to add.
Well, they were like, "Well, yeah, that's our job right there, to
Okay.
get you home safe."
So when we got up in the air, Ben, so the one thing that when I closed the door, my question for you guys was, "Hey, the door handle is right by my elbow. Does that thing ever come open?" And I think David from the back seat goes, "Yeah, it does. Just close it." So does the door ever come open?
Oh yeah, I've had it multiple
Yeah.
times.
When you want to jump out of it and go skydiving, that's when it needs to open, Andy.
That's
Yeah,
when it
well.
needs to open, but probably doesn't then.
So you're both working here at Champions Run, and Cy, you've been here a little bit longer than David. How many years have you been here?
I think we're coming up on 3.
3 years. And so during your time here, you've been a server. You now are running the Rough Bar as a bartender. And do you ever get any feedback or questions from members about being a flight instructor?
I actually do from time to time. I know Dorsey, who's out here quite a bit. We chat a little bit. She's getting her private license, if I'm correct, Dave.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and then John Chudy had an airline for a little bit, so we talked to him quite a bit. It's like, yeah, it was kind of
Judy had an airline.
news to me too, but yeah, he had like a bunch of planes, so we'll chat up at the bar, and then Kim Wolf, obviously,
Yeah.
talking to Kim because he always comes in with corporate pilots or like the sheriff or somebody random, and I don't know, we get to talking about stuff. They fly cool planes and they have opportunities out there, so I always ask me where I'm at, and I'm nowhere near where I need to be, but we're getting there. So
That's great. David, how long have you been here now?
I've been here just about a year now.
Okay. And so you're doing some serving and any bartending at all?
Yep, serving, bartending, and then banquet bartending too.
Okay. So from the airlines to Champions Run, how did you guys find out about Champions Run?
Garrett Ferguson.
Yeah, I found out through Garrett and Cy, and Cy was the one that convinced me to actually apply and join the team here.
Well, we're glad you're both here. So Garrett Ferguson worked here for about 3 years. He started here during COVID. I had no idea. Actually, I called his dad. His dad's a couple years older than me. We went to high school together. He was my high school quarterback. And I called him. I said, "Hey, does Garrett know what it takes to work at Champions Run?" He goes, "He's going to figure it out pretty quick, isn't he, Andy?" So we do owe Garrett a lot of credit for bringing both you guys here. But we actually have some other flight people in the airline industry that are working with you guys. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Who's that?
Duncan Bertier, our roommate too.
So Duncan actually is here in the restaurant. Today's Thursday, waiting tables. We were going to have him join for the podcast as well, but he's got some tables, so he's busy. But before Duncan and Garrett, who else used to work here? Mark.
Oh yeah, Mark Gigi. He started like briefly before I did. I think we're about a couple weeks, maybe a month apart, I want to say.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, so we're super appreciative that both you guys are here, and Duncan and Mark and Garrett. Just a great relationship. You know, for our members that are listening, and I hope you get a chance to listen to this podcast, come out and see both these guys. See Duncan, see Cy, see David. They love to talk about their career, their industry, their passion. I mean, it was pretty, evident to me when we were up in the plane, just how great you guys are at what you do. Ben, when we walked inside Rev and I was waiting for him, and I was going to share this earlier, there were some people working behind the desk, but when these two showed up, it was like Maverick and Goose walked in. I mean, there was an aura that just kind of took over, like, hey, you know what? The cool guys just showed up.
He's got the Maverick shades too. I mean, he should have been wearing them this whole time.
He should have had them on. So Ben, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. So
Oh boy.
we were up in the air we flew over Champions Run. Greg Jones had just pulled the plug on the pond, and so you can see all the silt in there. Perfect, clear as day, clear as mud. A little better than the drone footage that you got. So both these guys threw it out there. You guys should do a hard hat time with this up in the plane to get some better footage. Let's ask you: are you queasy with heights?
Not queasy, but I'm gonna have to try to catch my wife when she's half asleep to tell her I'm gonna do that so she doesn't remember.
Yeah, it's a wise choice. It did work out in my favor. So I'm going to ask both David and Cy, do you got room for all four of us to go up for a hard hat time?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We got a bigger plane than we took up. It'll work.
There we go. Let's bring some parachutes too. How about that? We can jump out over a hole 17, Andy.
We have some buddies who do parachute
Yeah,
jumping.
we'll
We
have
could
to
set
talk
you
to our
up.
buddy Carson.
Let's go. Tandems all day.
What you called it? Now I'm speechless. I'm stuttering.
Now we got you nervous because you didn't know we were going to go down this skydive route. This is kind of a catch-22.
So you didn't call it a barrel roll. What'd you call it before?
The Zergy pushover?
Yeah, whatever that is. I'm up for that, but I don't know about jumping out of a plane.
I saw you on the G-Force Wizard during 4th of July. We're going to need to insert that video onto this podcast during the 4th of July. You did not do well. Either did I, but we'll make it work.
Yeah, that was painful. Well, I can tell you on behalf of Champions Run, we're so fortunate that both of you work here, that we've got a connection with the airlines. To our members, when both David and Cy are working here, please stop out. Come see them. They love to talk about the industry, what they're doing. Watching you guys up in the plane was completely amazing. And when I was getting the pre-flight instruction, I was getting all this cool terminology. David called the steering wheel the yoke. And so he's like, the one thing you don't want to do is choke the yoke. And I'm going, okay, I don't really know what that means, but we're up there. And next thing you know, I'm pulling this, I'm choking the yoke. I'm pulling this thing back and forth. And I finally go to Cy, I go, hey, why don't you just take back over? And he's barely got one finger on it. And I mean, it's just smooth as, it was just smooth as butter. So
That's definitely more when it comes to flying. So
yeah. Hey, while we have you here, last year while we were closed in January, you guys told me when we were up in the air that you flew a plane that same size to California. Is that right?
So like if all four of us go up, that'll be the exact plane we flew. So it was a little bit bigger, but we were this close the whole time. So we were done with each other by the end of the trip.
So, and you told me that took you 24 hours total to fly out there?
Yeah, round trip.
Where at in California did you guys go?
We went over to
like
LA.
Yeah. We went to Catalina Island too.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The
Catalina
water
Island.
picture.
I love it. I love it. So when I had made mention early on about the turbulence, and both you guys said, yeah, what are you talking about? There's nothing going on here. I go, I don't know. It feels like it's jumping up and down. And David from the back seat, David was in the back seat. He was the backseat driver supervising. He goes, you should have felt it when we went over the Rocky Mountains. What was that like?
I honestly don't remember it being too bad, I guess. I think there's always a time where it kind of gets a little bit much. You're like, feel those butterflies in your stomach, but the more you do it, the less you feel, I definitely would say.
So for all of our members out there, explain turbulence. I love watching videos on turbulence.
I would say it's just like a wave. So air is just a fluid. It's just like water. And so if you think about your lake house and you're out on the boat, you're going to be able to see those waves. But in the airplane, it's the same thing. You just can't really see it.
Oh, I felt it. I definitely.
It was like a tsunami wave coming at you, right?
It was. Hey, and I'll kind of tip my cards here a little bit again. I do have some social media, but I specifically follow Champions Run just to keep up with what we're doing. But I do like to watch TikTok. Now, all of a sudden, all I have coming up is flights, flight instructors, people flying planes, all the emergencies that are coming up. There was a young gal, it was her third flight, and her front tire broke off. And so she had to land with just the back two tires. So because of you, I'm now, watching a lot of TikTok about pilots.
The algorithm is working.
It's definitely working. I did ask my wife if she could start calling me captain. And she goes, no, I will not be calling you captain.
Maverick.
There you go. Maverick's
That's
a lot
good one.
better. Well, I'm going to, once again, let's queue up this hard hat time. Let's fly over. Let's get some good footage to show our members what's going on, and let's pick a date.
Here we go. Let's roll.
All right. Any last parting words, Cy, David?
No, thank you so much for having us on. It's been awesome. It was fun taking you up. I always love seeing people get excited about flying. And so it's a good time.
Yeah, no, same thing Dave said. Thanks for coming with, because everybody always says they want to go fly and nobody ever does. So
Well, I
really
think
great to
both
take.
these, well, thank you for bringing me up and you're welcome. But I think both these guys realize that I leave a pretty boring life because I told them it was probably one of the top 15 things I've ever done. So if you get a chance, go fly a plane.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.